All right, call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'm so close to you, I'd say. Who knows where you've been?
Can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Rivas,
Here.
Councilmember Grant,
Here.
Councilmember Jessup,
Here.
Councilmember Larson, Councilmember Pepper,
Here.
Councilmember Sims,
Present.
and Councilmember Litt.
Did you call me?
Yeah.
I'm here, as it turns out.
Present.
All right, thank you. Approval of minutes from May 26th.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have first reading, Madam Auditor.
Notice to taxpayers of proposed additional appropriation. Notice is hereby given the taxpayers of Porter County, Indiana, that the proper legal offices of Porter County, Indiana will meet the Porter County Government Administration Building located at 155 Indiana Avenue, El Dorado, on June 23rd, 2020, at 5:30 p.m. to consider the following appropriation adjustments to the county budget for the year 2020 and to transfer any further business which might be in the budget. Stormwater Fund 1182, closing at $20,000. Contractual services, $750,000. Other mobile equipment, $30,000. Drug task force fund, 4010. Per diem, $4,800. Sheriff DEA proceeds fund, $1118. Uniforms and clothing, $47,773. And SUIG grant fund, $8158. Furniture and fixtures, over $100, $2,400. Other equipment, $2,000. Taxpayers appearing at such meeting shall have the right to be heard thereon. The appropriation adjustments as finally made will be referred to the Indiana Department of Local Government Finance. Where applicable, the DOGF will make a written determination as to the sufficiency of funds to support the appropriations made within 15 days of receipt of the certified copy of the action taken from the Victor Act Auditor of Porter County, published June 12, 2020.
Thank you, Vicki. All right, if you guys don't mind, just jump out of order real fast. I think Porter Hospital here, you guys want to come up, and we'll take care of the CF1 form real fast.
Thank you.
Now, we'll get you in and out. Unless you want to stay for the show.
Thank you very much, we appreciate it.
All right, so we've got the CF1 form in front of us, you guys, for tax abatement. Vicki, I believe you said that everything was received on time, filed on time.
Great.
So I guess real quick, employees and salaries, to me, that seems to be an important section there. What you guys said you would have the current number of employees was 1,500 you said you would have, and you actually have, is that right, 1,800?
Yes, yeah.
So the salaries, so everything on the right side there that we can see, 160 million in salaries, number of employees retained, 1,500, salaries down.
Do you guys have any, is there anything in the imminent future to reduce staff? Do you have any of that going on? Are you guys throughout all this?
No, we had about 50 that furloughed voluntarily,
Yeah.
but we'll bring those back as volume returns. We're about 80 to 85% of base on ED visits and surgeries. Admissions are still a little slow to pick up. Folks are still scared to come to the hospital, so.
Sure.
But we're returning.
All right, nice.
We're technically in an industry where we don't have enough supply of staff, so, we have vacancies in many job categories, like in the hospital, in the country these days.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's clear from the current number of employees and the salaries, you guys are far exceeding the expectation, and so that's, very much appreciated, in line with what we need. And I would just like to say, from my personal experience and involvement, Mr. Dardeau, with you, and the cooperative attitude that Porter Regional has had, and the involvement that you've had with community initiatives and so forth, has been outstanding. and to be able to get quick and immediate response and positive response. It shows that, through your leadership, the hospital continues to be a significant asset for the community. So I appreciate your involvement, your commitment to that.
Thank you, Mr. Jessen, I appreciate it.
I'm pleased that the documents got in on time. What year?
I think 9, is it 9?
Is it, you know off the top of your head where we're at on the tax abatement years?
After this year, there's 2 additional years.
Okay,
So 8.
thank you. Time flies.
We appreciate the abatement, too. Thank you very much. Very helpful.
Any other questions?
You need a motion?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Please.
I'll make a motion to accept the...
Second.
Motion, a second to accept the CF1 form. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
You guys are more than welcome to hang out. Should get fun. All right. Commissioners, anybody from Board of Commissioners? No? Where's Scott? Anybody? We'll skip over this. I didn't know if, I thought Scott he usually hangs out. We'll see if he shows up.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable doing a Form 144 without somebody here.
I talked to him, he was in here, I know he talked to you, Dan, and Bob, and I talked to him. He explained to me the transfer, so, but, all right, we'll skip over that. Superior Court 3, Judge Drenth. There's just a small transfer here, you guys, I don't know, 300 from 31,700 interpreter to 44.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second furniture. To purchase a stand-up desk per a letter of medical necessity. The motion and a second to approve. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, small transfer passes. Prosecutor, Gary Durham.
There he is. Did you ever get the microphone working with your talk show thing, radio?
Oh, yeah. We did it Monday. Yes, finally.
I was trying to get into that, too.
Yeah.
Like, 1 or 2 people who actually listened.
There's like 6, I think.
Oh, right. That's just because of the
No,
sheriff.
the second or third try.
So, all right, we got a general fund, Form 144, title change from victim assistance to case manager. Reason asking for a title change, only the salaries will be the same. Prioritizing the employee structure to our current office needs. So,
Move to approve.
there's a motion to approve the
Second.
144 change. Motion and a second. Any discussion?
And the only,
Actually, yeah.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, it basically is a title change, from what I understand. It is,
Yeah, that's
it's
correct.
not a new position.
It's not,
And the job description has not changed?
what we're doing is we're eliminating a victim advocate position in Portage and creating a new court manager in Valparaiso, which is what we really need.
But the job description for that person, is that the same as it?
Yes, job description for...
Hasn't
that
changed.
will not change, no.
So you're eliminating the victim's assistance from your line item? You won't have that
Well-
position?
That position, no, it's a court manager. We're changing the title,
Okay.
yes.
So Gary, I guess I have a follow-up to our earlier conversation, and because I went to council I've talked to Jeremy a little bit about it, but not necessarily along the vein of this, but I've been privy to some of the exchanges of letters and emails, and I want to make sure that I am not misunderstanding this. So you had an employee that was leaving your office to go over to Judge Drenth's court, correct? And I don't know if there was ever a question about transferring longevity, because we've always done that. We've been kind enough, if someone leaves from one department and goes to another, where they take their accrued longevity and their accrued vacation with them. So that's always been sort of seamless, but I'm a little troubled, or at least concerned, that it seems that from the most recent exchanges, do we have an employee that is wanting you to pay out 4 weeks of vacation for the year, but then is going over to Judge Drenth's court and immediately getting another 4 weeks? Is that what we're dealing with here? Now, that's not your problem, but I mean, maybe it
That
is.
is my understanding. And so, yes, I mean, we're aware of the potential buyout possibility.
Right.
So we've taken some steps to potentially reduce the county liability, if you will. The money's in our budget, but
Right.
we're trying to fill that position as soon as possible, as you know, so.
Yes, I have two.
Potentially, yes.
So I guess I have two concerns, and one of them that you've addressed, sounds like, which I appreciate, and that's how does this work in your budget? You're having an employee asked to be bought out of her as if she had left, as if she'd left the county employment, asking for a buyout, which is a problem for your budget. You have to find the money. But on the other side of that, of course, I have a concern that we have an employee that, for all intents and purposes, is getting 8 weeks of vacation on the taxpayers' backs. And I want to make sure that's not the case, but it sounds like maybe that is the case.
I think it depends on what happens once her new position starts. So the way it works is that we've budgeted this position in our budget, as you know. It's a line item for that specific court manager. So for sure, there would be 2 weeks where that position has been unfilled. So the county has not paid anyone. So that money theoretically is still in the general fund.
Right.
So there's 2 weeks right there. So if you had to write a check, it would be as if she were there, but she's not. So that brings us to your question, and that I don't know the answer to finally, other than that's possible.
But you wanted to hire somebody immediately, but now this hampers that. Your ability to hire somebody, I mean,
Well,
you'd have
yeah.
to find other funds.
Yes. Well, what we would do, Councilman Rivas, is we would wait another 2 weeks and not start that person until July 20th. My preference is to start them July 6th. And we work with the auditor with their payroll every 2 weeks as well. So we have to stagger to be consistent with that. So our start date right now is July 6th. We would have been 2 weeks without a court manager already. And if necessary, to compensate for the 4 weeks, we would go without a court manager.
So that addresses your budgetary issue.
Yeah.
But it does not address my question, I suppose, that for all intents and purposes, we have an employee that potentially could get 8 weeks vacation for the year.
Yeah, so that's up to the lawyers.
Yeah.
Aren't you a lawyer?
Because.
So I guess I'm down here in the end a little muddy here. So we got somebody, did she quit your office?
Yes, she left and went to work for Judge.
Well, no, I don't care where she went.
Yes.
She quit, she's entitled to 4 weeks, which we all agree with, right? So she's gonna walk across the hall, and I'm gonna echo what Mr. Whitten said. So she walks across the hall to go to work for the judge, and he gives her 4 weeks vacation?
How could she?
Well, he has that right, I believe.
So we've got,
How could she be?
It's addressed in that employee handbook somewhere, right?
well, but here's the problem.
Yes.
Here's
Here's where it gets even.
It gets as clear as mud.
Here's mine, I think.
So I think that, I think Judge Strength, and we probably need to ask him, I wish he would have stuck around, but he's taken the position, it seems from the letter that he got from downstate, that it's up to him, whether, because he's a state employee, and so therefore it's a quasi-state office, blah, 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 except for the
So
fact that-
therefore, you could grant 12 weeks. Is that what we're saying?
So I think that would be a problem for him because we passed his budget. So if he wanted a budget higher than what we were to approve, for example, I believe he would have to get do a mandate, and I don't think that fits into the mandate string of cases. But the letter he got, and we probably need to get our own legal opinion, but he got a letter that said vacations are up to him. But now here's the thing, though, we passed the budget. So if there's not enough money in there, then, I mean, I guess in theory he could give someone 12 weeks vacation, but then he's short-staffed. So but the problem here is that here's the oddity. I have a real problem, I have a real problem with somebody working for the county, literally saying, thank you for letting me bridge my longevity. I'm going to, as you've always done for county employees, because you're an understanding county council. Now I want an extra 4 weeks vacation. because
That is not,
because I can't. And I guess that's a problem for me, because it just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem right. It just seems like that's being excessive.
I
It's
guess,
taxpayer money,
who does she work for?
Judge Drent.
No, the county or the state? Because they always throw that back in our face that they're state employees.
No, I think she works for the county, but,
Well, according to that letter.
doesn't the county have?
What letter? I've yet to see the letter.
There was an opinion letter that was sent out
To our lawyer.
the day before, yeah.
So here's what I think we should do. I think we should instruct our attorney, Harold, and the county attorney, Scott, to reach out to the attorney that Judge Strength got his letter from, and reach out to Judge Strength and get some clarification on this. I want to know, what is this employee really getting? Do we really have a county employee that's getting 8 weeks vacation for 1 year? I want to know that. Because
So we withdraw?
that's problematic to me. It's whether it can be done or whether it should be done, maybe two separate things. But I don't think it should be done.
Should I have a
I'm
second
going to echo
motion?
what Mike says, if he says she's entitled to 10 weeks.
Yeah, but again, you have to understand, if they have their judges.
I understand.
They don't go under the county.
It's a concept.
They don't go under the county employee manual. The judges have their own judicial manuals that they've done, which is within their ability to do so. So I suppose that if they wanted to have somebody have 10 weeks vacation, they could. They haven't done that because it's fair. But then they're stuck with short staff, and they don't have money to pay somebody to sit there in their stead because they would come to us with a budget for the funds.
I guess.
So they're just short staffing themselves.
I guess it's the concept that bothers me more than the,
Just isn't fair.
Other than the judges, do we have any other departments that can arbitrarily grant how many ever weeks of vacation they want?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
They have to follow the employee manual.
Well, that's what it should be there for.
So I would suggest that everybody get a copy of the letter that Judge Drent sent to our attorney and the county attorney. I suggest you all take a look at it. I would ask that our attorney give us an opinion on what we should and shouldn't or can and cannot do. Not that I want to turn this into, I don't want to go to war with anybody. We don't have to, it doesn't have to be acrimonious, but it just seems to me an absurd outcome for somebody to get 8 weeks vacation, if that's what's happening. I want clarification on that. And obviously Gary wouldn't have it because she's not his employee anymore. She sent him a letter, apparently, or sent the county a letter that said, I'm done here, pay me out my vacation.
And was it a transfer, or was it a termination, then a rehire?
She quit, it was a termination.
Initially,
Yeah.
my view of it, when I checked with the auditor's office, I really wanted to protect her longevity. So to me, it was a transfer. So when we fill out our status change, instead of me terminating her, I filled out the transfer form. And so I got a letter saying that, that in effect, she resigned. So now we're in what happened to those 4 weeks vacation.
She resigned,
And
we have
I'm
to
just kind
pay
of
out.
waiting to hear.
right, she's
I'm
entitled, yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle. You know, we'll do whatever the lawyers say about how to handle that 4 weeks vacation.
Vicki, have you paid anything out yet?
No.
What's HR saying? Don't we have an HR department?
Yes, we do.
I don't know. I haven't. So, but there's two problems, because now a case manager, that's your court manager.
Sounds like we need to take.
That's not an important position for you?
So it's usually important.
So you're left with a month without a court manager, because you have to pay
And some of
potentially.
the good thing is that we are, right now, not able to have any jury trials because of the Indiana Supreme Court order. So we're getting backed up, but it's not like we're really under the gun right now. And because of the inability to actually hold court hearings, we're just now getting started as well. So in another month, that's when we're really going to feel how super busy we're going to be.
I just feel like the county council, and to some degree the commissioners, have always been very accommodating with respect to transfer of employees. We've always, allowed them to carry longevity over, carry accrued vacation, we've been very accommodating in that regard. Even during this COVID, we were very accommodating to our employees. And it just feels to me that if somebody is going to be transferred and then they decide they're going to resign because they want the extra 4 weeks vacation, making it 8, if that's what happened, I'd like to know that, because that really changes my view. I got to tell you, it really changes my view on things.
Well, technically, is she a new employee? If she quit and hired into the job,
You signed for the transfer.
Yeah, I did the status change that we always send over to the auditor.
Yeah, we're obviously at a disadvantage, because we don't have HR here, the Commissioner's office is not here, unfortunately, and
Can we
Judge
table this?
left. I mean,
Well, no,
it's separate, separate from that, but it'd be hard for me to believe that someone can effectively, let's call it, quit, but then essentially rehire, because if you quit, or if you get terminated, if you want to still work for the county, it's a rehire. And to think that someone could, on the way out, get paid down for all their vacation time and so forth, and then all of a sudden start
Accumulate
with
4
another
more
position and
weeks.
get 4 more weeks, that seems ludicrous.
So, that's a good question then.
So then we need to look at the longevity issue and all that stuff. So I guess, Mr. Chairman, I guess I would ask that the auditor not pay out the vacation until we figure out the status of this employee and what the obligation is.
So, is that a form of a motion, or is that just
I don't
a
think we need a
directive? We need a
motion.
motion for that?
Do you have a problem with that, Vicki?
To not pay anything out to that,
No, don't pay out the vacation yet until we figure out exactly what the status of this whole thing is. That sound okay?
That's fine with me. We have to close payroll tomorrow, and we just received a notice that she resigned today. So it would have been very difficult for us to pay it out.
well,
We're telling you.
we're going to discuss this next meeting, and we're going to have the commissioners here, we'll have HR here, we've got a lot more questions, so it's not going to be the next couple payrolls.
And we'll have our lawyer here presumably. I mean, and by the way, our lawyer was quarantined for 14 days. He got quarantined because of
Right.
so he was unable to come, which is okay. If somebody's being quarantined, they don't need to come. But
she's not missing any pay, correct?
No.
So she's not, it's not like we're hurting her, she's just not getting paid her vacation. Okay.
I also, if you look at it, from a compensation standpoint, we do have involvement with her pay. Is that
Yes.
fair to say?
That's correct.
And we can also say that vacation should be part of compensation. So if, I would want to know if it can we can arbitrarily, or the judges can arbitrarily say, this person will get 4, 8, 12 weeks vacation.
Based on that
We
letter.
should know that, because that should therefore also affect compensation as part of their pay, as part of total compensation. I mean, that just seems really strange to me. So,
Odd but true. So yes, I'd like to have a lot more information on this.
Yes, Madam Auditor.
Not to muddy the waters, but after this pay, we're going to be processing longevity, and the longevity policy is your policy, so do I take mean that we should hold off on processing longevity, or proceed with longevity for this particular employee?
Well, that brings up a good point. Longevity.
Yeah.
Part of longevity was paid by the casino boat money.
Right,
Correct. Is doing
That well's gone dry.
Yeah.
right.
We got enough money for the
Where
first
do you
payment?
propose we're going to make that first draw from?
The lit budget,
We have enough for the first payment?
yes.
Yeah, so we all understand that, so everybody understands, that, yeah, longevity is it's extra. And we always used to take it out of the riverboat casino money because there was adequate money there to pay it. We hit the casino money a bit with the drug task force, that hit it pretty good, but it's important. So that put a strain on the casino money, and it's become less and less flourishing, obviously. So we've been pushing more and more to alternate funds such as LIT. But it's extra.
Right.
I mean, we may have to decide what's more important, the drug task force or the second half of longevity come later in the year.
Or we're going to have to find another source of revenue to pay it.
Yeah.
Well, it's certainly going to be a pretty huge discussion, I would suspect, this year during budget time as to how we're going to do next year, how we're going to attack it,
Exactly right.
where we propose to take it from. So the auditor's asking us about the longevity pay for this staff. So had she earned her longevity with the prosecutor's office?
Yeah, we don't want to double that up.
I mean, I don't want to double dip here. I don't
Yeah,
want,
According to the longevity policy, we pay it out if they're an active employee as of June 30th.
well, she's,
Should quit?
Well, so has she,
she did quit.
is she on the payroll for the judge right now?
yeah, but she's new.
Is she on the payroll for the judge right now?
Yeah, but she
That's
quit.
Monday, yeah.
She quit, and she's new. She quit.
Has her time been bridged? Has he sent anything over the judge to say what his wishes are?
No.
I think that's what that letter's about.
Yeah. I think you should hold off on that, too.
Everything.
I think until we get a better understanding of the legal.
I do want to clarify that the judge did submit a status change last week as the prosecutor. So I didn't want to make it sound like he didn't submit anything. But we were not told that there would be any bridging of the restoration of the funds.
You haven't been told, so you guys, is the wishes of the council to hold off on longevity till
I
a
don't know,
month?
Chairman, what do you think? You hold the gavel.
I'm asking, what, there's 7 of us.
I know, but you're the guy in the middle.
6, we're missing one. I mean, this puts everything off a month.
From what I'm hearing, you're saying that she quit. Is that right?
She quit, yes, the prosecutor's office.
To get her vacation paid out.
Okay.
We gotta sort this out. We gotta sort this out, guys. So, we just have to sort, I just have to understand what her status is. I understand the judge has some authority to establish benefits and things like that, and how he wants to treat longevity. I just think we need to, I want a better understanding of this. I want a better picture of what we can and cannot do, and what we should and shouldn't do. So, I say we hold serve here till we figure that out.
Would we need a motion then
I think so.
to hold off on longevity for a month? Are you guys okay with that then? Hold off on everything, on paying out what
Hold
she's
off
owed.
on longevity for everybody or just this employee?
This employee.
Can we just carve one person out then, this person too? Are you talking about holding off?
What do you think, Mike? What are you suggesting?
Well, I think for this one person where we're trying to figure out what the total compensation is, and that's longevity, that's vacation, and whether they quit or got resigned, or whatever that circumstance was. I think we need to figure that out.
Quitting
That
is
one
usually
person.
the same as resigning, just to...
This letter says, please...
Well, I'd like to know specifically what it says. And then what the condition was, on the rehire, or was it a transfer or rehire? I mean, who knows? So, but I also wouldn't say that we hold off on everybody else's longevity.
Thank you.
Based on this one
Require
employee.
this individual out then on any payment, including longevity. I mean, obviously not payroll. Not payroll, she's been hired by, yes. But any vacation that's owed and longevity at this point in time, because we're not clear even if her time's been bridged. Okay,
We could,
all right.
legally, for the answer. Yes, we can move this to a later date.
Okay.
Any thoughts on that, Gary?
Well, I guess, I just want to make it clear, because I've read the handbook and the language that's in the handbook, so that when you begin to analyze this, I want to make it clear that I did not terminate her. So she was not terminated by me.
No, you put transfer in there,
I
right?
put transfer, and then I got the letter of resignation. So those words are words of art in the handbook.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure why someone would expect to get paid out their vacation time if they're simply transferring to another department. Or how much vacation would they expect going forward?
Were they
Do they have zero?
I don't think so.
It's their interpretation of the handbook.
I don't know.
It's gonna come down to that, just like the Constitution, who's gonna interpret it, and then who will have the oversight to put the handbook.
Was there a hole someone tried to jump through? No, not you, sir. But you do have a motion and a second on the floor, don't you, for the 144?
Yeah, just to change.
Yeah?
Just a change?
the name.
Can we get a vote on the 144 change?
Name change only.
Name change.
Name change only? if there's no more discussion on this 144, get a roll call, Madam Auditor.
Councilmember Graham,
Yes.
Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad,
Yes.
Councilmember Strange,
Yes.
Councilmember Witten,
Yes.
and Councilmember Rivas.
Yes. Well,
This ought to be a stitch. I just think maybe we can get some more information and get back to so, Vicki, you're clear on what, do you want us to take a vote on that, or you just okay with us saying?
I think the discussion,
Okay.
okay.
unless
Nope.
you want to take a vote.
Well, no, I think nobody's up here. The directive's clear. Hold off.
And we need HR to weigh in, we need our attorney to weigh in.
Definitely.
County
County
attorney.
attorney,
County attorney to weigh in.
And you said HR, right?
this is definitely a...
Okay.
Because in her first sentence, she resigned.
You're good.
Right for you to go?
You are. You're good.
Thanks, Jim. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Stormwater, that was fun.
That was fun.
We'll continue that discussion next month.
I'm going to make a motion on all three of these stormwater additionals.
An additional $20,000 to disposal, $750,000 to contractual services, and $30,000 to mobile equipment.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for all three additionals. Is there any discussion? I'm interested in the purchase off-road vehicle and boat for better access to aquatic off-road areas.
What kind of a boat are you getting?
Jet ski, like
No, not a jet ski. We're
It's a
actually
cabin cruiser.
looking at fan boats, so we would have access to the
Fan
river
boats.
as well as
Ooh.
shallow water areas or wetlands and tributary ditches to the Kankakee.
you don't
I'd
suppose
like
a
to ride
kayak would be sufficient enough?
Well, we might buy a kayak as well to allow us to get to some of the streams and.
You were just kidding, weren't you?
I was
It is
kidding.
gonna make
Is there enough money in there?
What is the other vehicle that they have at the wildlife preserve? An Argo or something?
That's what,
Yeah.
so that's what we're looking at buying as an Argo.
Oh.
It gives us the capability to float and get through wetland areas as well.
That's
So-
great.
So we were fixing a bunch of culverts, and I know we've got, so how are we doing on that? How many do we have left to do? How many have we done, do you know?
Yeah, well, we're at about 200 culvert replaced over the last few years. And our highway department's pretty much taken the lead on that,
Okay.
using the stormwater funds to buy the culverts, identifying which ones need replacing based on the interns assessment we did a few summers ago.
Right.
And going down that list. Now, we've had some big storm events where we've had to, turn attention to ones that got blown out or washed out as a result of the storm events, but we're right around that 200 mark, I believe.
Do you know how many were identified to begin with as?
We're about halfway through. We had
Okay.
about 400 identified in need of replacement.
So it says off-road vehicle and boat.
Correct.
I think maybe you should talk to Mr. Poprod at the end. He might have something.
No.
He's got an off-road vehicle that is a boat.
I actually have two of them Argos, too.
Ooh. I mean, in a pinch, you could use his duck.
No.
No?
It doesn't do good in mud, too heavy.
All right, is there any further?
You're gonna get tracks for it,
Tracks?
get tracks for the Argo.
You think we should get tracks?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that.
Yeah, a question on
Finally,
the,
something Pop Rod gets excited about.
question on the house demolition,
Mhm.
207, 208, those are the Wheeler houses? Right on that?
Those are in.
And do they have, do you have a list of other houses that are on your list of potential demolitions and that sort of thing?
Those done in Wheeler were done through stormwater, because they got a stormwater project going into South Wheeler. The other list that we have, yes, that's through the unsafe building hearing officer. We do have a list going.
Now, these two, they're not occupied at this time, right?
No,
No.
in fact, they're torn down already. These were repetitive, flood-prone, repetitive flood loss properties that we bought, got them out of harm's, flood's way.
They were agreeable sellers,
Correct.
so.
How robust is that list of houses to be demolished for safety or blighted or whatever you call it?
Well, it's not wage.
We're adding to.
Well, these homes were taken down because it was cheaper than buying the land for a drainage pond.
No, I understand that.
You're blending the unsafe house.
I'm asking separately. I'm asking about the unsafe house.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that, Sylvia.
We have well, the hearing officer has been pushed back and everything like that. I don't think we're going to have a hearing officer going on until probably August. In that case, we're going to be revisiting, I think, 4 orders or continued orders that he had, plus I think I have added a couple of new houses. The fund's doing okay. I'm not going to say we're going to go hog wild onto it because of the fact that it does cost us money and everything like that to do the tear downs. We are using the highway department where we can, and this money, matter of fact, we're paying for Wheeler is for the highway department's cost they have with the dumpsters and stuff like that, so we are using them to try to save costs and everything like that. But I haven't seen the list recently, but I know I've added a couple recently on my bike rides going around the county and telling Christie to add a couple
So it's still very active in the list, and we're
It
attacking
is,
them.
but I mean, we haven't been able to aggressively go after it because of the fact that our last hearing officer meeting, I believe, was in February. But because of the notification procedures and everything like that, and what's been going on, I don't think we're going to have one until August now. So,
Yep, no, thanks for the update. Thank you.
But we're not refusing.
No. All right. You good, Mike?
Yep.
Any further questions? All right, there's a motion and a second. Get a roll call on the additionals, the 3 additionals.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Sims?
Yes.
Councilmember
Yes.
Rivas?
Yes.
And Councilmember Grant?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Sheriff,
What happened?
Drug Task Force, get an additional $4,800 to $12,400 per diem. Reason to cover increase in per diem from 2019 additional EC Meg member. There's one additional, there's another additional for the sheriff DEA proceeds, an additional $47,773 to
I'm going to make a motion on the 2 sheriff additionals and the jail transfer.
Replacement of body armor.
Just cut the chase here, man.
All right, then the transfer was $20,000 food and groceries to cover expenses incurred related to COVID. So what's the COVID related, the $20,000 sheriff?
Well, there's a pandemic out there, and we call it COVID-19. Originally the coronavirus, but we changed it because people got confused with the beer.
Need a sheriff? I know you wanted to run for sheriff, but...
Well, you running for sheriff, Dan?
No, we got an
announcement.
Can we let the sheriff finish the answer?
I forget what the question was, but let me answer this. That 20,000 is of 20,000 you guys already approved for the lights that we took out of, so that what we're doing is taking that 20,000 back so we can put it in other supplies, which is like our tasers and things that we buy in the jail, and so we're just kind of moving that money back.
Gotcha.
Did we ever, because there was conversation about getting reimbursed for them UV lights.
Yes.
We did?
We've applied for the CARES Act, so we should get 75% back.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that was mainly for the lights and for the tests that we used. So
How is it at the jail now with the,
we're infection-free right now.
oh,
That's awesome.
excellent.
Did you get that new equipment in yet?
We got one light, but not the big lights. It works,
Okay.
so we'll let you come on over to see it.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at it, but burn your eyes out, but.
All right, any further questions on the 2 additionals and the transfer?
Do you have a motion?
Yes.
Dan made a motion. I think Sylvia
Yeah.
seconded.
Mike.
Any further question? And the body armor, you said, I asked you earlier when I spoke, this for the jailers?
No,
Say
you
body
guys
armor.
approved that. This is monies that I'm taking out of forfeiture. By statute, the fiscal body's supposed to pay for it. But trying to help you out a little bit here.
Being the
We
good
got
guy
a
you
vacation
are.
to pay out, man.
So this is for the patrol guys.
This patrol, because I know we did a large person a couple of
5 years ago, they
5?
bought them all. We're kind of in a situation we can't get out of, because once we bought all of them 5 years ago,
Yeah, I'll come do it.
and 5 years we got to buy some more of them. So we're going to try to spread it out a little bit, so down the road, we're not in the same situation, but these vests are expired.
Wow. Time flies.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Anything else? No, we'll get a roll call on the two additionals in the transfer.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Sims?
Yes.
Councilmember Witten?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
And Councilmember Chapman?
Yes.
Sheriff, real quick, the body cams we purchased a couple of years ago, and replacement on those, when are those?
Well, the last one, since you brought it up, when it comes up again, basically it's now a $60,000 maintenance agreement. After the third year, we get all new cameras, and that's part of it, and then it also covers storage.
And where, are we at probably the third year?
Next year will be coming up. We paid for this first $60,000, but what's going on with all this police reform, the 21st century policing, all the things that the federal government everybody's making moves on, one of the things that you're going to see is they're going to be mandating body cameras and car cameras for law enforcement. And we advocate that. We think they should.
So other than you guys, Portage doesn't have it?
No. Nobody's got body cameras and car cameras. Some have car cameras. Portage has none. I think they want them now.
They do.
Valpo's got car cameras, but they're looking at going with body cameras too. If you've ever had an opportunity to come over and see our system, it's remarkable. I mean, I don't know how more transparent you can be.
Right.
Every contact we have with the public, it's being recorded. So I think a large part of the reason we don't have problems is because part of it's that. It's for the officer's safety, and it's also for the public safety. So.
The storage is an issue, isn't it?
No, it's the system we've got, we worked it out when we bought it. The storage is incorporated in what we're paying. I mean, it's expensive, but if you think about it, and you guys have made large purchases over the years on other things, stormwater, whatever, anything involving technology, you're going to be paying 30%. And Mike, you're going to see that at Valpo. You're going to be paying 30%, 30% a year on maintenance agreements, whatever you buy. So when we looked at this, we thought it was consistent with, the system itself is $500,000. So if you're spending $60,000 a year to maintain a $500,000 system, it's not too bad. So that's kind of what, we did our due diligence.
And there's probably no ability for like all the departments in the county to sort of get on one?
Oh, no, absolutely. Well, if we went into the same system, we're on the same system with Valpo.
Okay.
So we can, if we sign an agreement, which we did with Chief Ballin, we can share that information.
I was just wondering if we had more of the departments in a pooled system, if it would be cheaper.
I'm not
sure about that.
Probably not.
But I will say, if I have a second, we went through the system, Motorola put on a system presentation last week on stationary camera. We got LPRs now, 2 of them in our part of this deal, which is license plate readers. So we're going through, we're testing out 2. There's only 2 in Indiana, and we have them. But we're looking at stationary cameras in the county on a pole. They're $2,200 a piece. $30 will be a jetpack. So now the technology's advanced where we can monitor those cameras. So you put them in high volume intersections from like Route 6. Portage is on board with this. Obviously was looking for the money, but if we put 10 cameras in the county, it's about $20,000, and then you're paying about $300 a month for the camera sold, and then you have access to it.
Right.
And then that even from a standpoint of the they're not here, but the highway department. Can you imagine at 2 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you want to find out what the roads are, you just turn on your computer and you can see. We'll put one up on like 520 and 20. But our goal is to try to put cameras and circle our county. So we I mean, it's not like Big Brother watching, it's like better for protection, for public safety.
The main entrance points, maybe into the county?
I mean, that's what we're looking at. I mean, the main accidents in our county is on Route 6. Just take from county line all the way down, that's where our all accidents are. So, it'd be nice to be able to monitor that, too.
Sure. So you're in discussion right now with a
Right,
vendor?
we're looking at monies, and we're gonna come back and ask you for just $20,000.
Just 20,000 here, just 50,000 there, just, yeah.
Hey, Dave, I'd like to just say real quickly, kind of express my appreciation for the work the Sheriff's Department has done in working with other municipalities in light of the difficulties with rallies, demonstrations, and so forth. You helped the city of Valparaiso out significantly with Sergeant Kovitz's funeral as well, and that collaborative, cooperative spirit says a lot and speaks to the quality of the department. And so I want to express my appreciation.
Well, thanks. I mean, it's easy working with both those chiefs. And I will say that I can't say enough about what happened in the last 3 months, what's happened in our jail. I mean, those guys had hazmat suits on for 2 weeks. I know a lot of other departments were under stress, but nothing like these jailers were. They walked in there every day with the unknown of if they're going to get sick. And, because it took us about a month to figure out what was going on. You know, how did we get this? And it wasn't, what turned out, it wasn't even a person arrested.
Right.
It wasn't a person in the jail. It was a cook that brought it in, and she was gone before we even, left, before we knew it. And
That's like the last person you want to bring in, the person that's
it was bad. I mean, and they were all and the ones that ended up testing positive at the beginning were all asymptomatic.
Right.
So
That's happened in other places.
which really posed a problem.
Well, we better let the sheriff go, he's costing us money, it's not even on the agenda.
Right.
Thank you.
All right.
Parks and Recreation.
I'll make a motion on the transfers.
We have a couple transfers in front of us, $2,500 from building liability compensation power, $2,000 building liability.
Second.
Water and sewer, increased cost for the new building, another transfer, $897,031. Rent expenses, processing, $2,000, event expenses of training, COVID-related training and supplies, reason for the two. Motion and a second, any further discussion?
And Walt, a question on the first transfer with the power, water, sewer. Those transfers, are those all specifically related to the new building?
That's the main driver, but all of our buildings are getting more expensive as they age. The rates have gone up. Our buildings are being used much more every single year. Our attendance is increasing. So, and if I remember correctly, we haven't increased our utility line items in several years, so.
Do these transfers take you through what you need for the remainder of the year?
I don't know. It's in the foreseeable future they are, and my understanding is the park board wanted to do a little bit more of a measured progression. In other words, get what you need for this next quarter, make sure that's good. Let's see where you're at for the next quarter. If we need to do a transfer, we will.
And then on the second transfer with the COVID-related expenses, I assume parks, like all departments, are tabulating COVID-related costs in an effort to get reimbursed through the CARES Act and all that. Is that all? I'm looking at you and I'm looking at Vicki specifically. So that's all. So whatever these COVID-related expenses are, would be on that list.
Correct.
And Vicki, you have a directive, do all the departments know to get you the information?
Yes, I hope so. I
You
sent out
hope
an email
Okay.
2 weeks ago, because we were starting to get some questions about what to do. And right now, we're just tracking the expenses, and we just received word a couple days ago that we are an official participant in the state's program for reimbursement. And may I just say, Sheriff Reynolds mentioned the reimbursement. I believe that's through the FEMA program. He mentioned 75%.
Right.
And we believe that under the CARES Act, the one there we get the direct reimbursement from, we'll be able to get that remaining 25% 5%.
Do you know what our total is at this point, the running total of how much we're set to be reimbursed, or?
We have
Any-
authorization for up to 5.5 million, but that's just authorization, it's going to be up to the state.
Right, but do you know what our expenditures are accumulated to date?
I don't have that running total yet, no. One of the questions was the sheriff, if that cost is going to go towards the CARES Act or through the FEMA CARES Act. There's different pots of money that apply for. I can get that for you.
I was curious.
Well, for the COVID-related training and supplies, what is that, what's the training of the employees? Is this for the camp coming up?
Yep, so we had both, even though there wasn't a cost associated with the health department, but we did have the health department come and do a specific training, which they should be acknowledged for. They did an amazing, incredible job for us. But then we also hired another trainer to come in to review PPE as part of their first aid training and their CPR training, and upgraded that to include all of the different processes and enhanced cleaning and sanitation and everything else that we'll be doing. In addition to all the supplies that we bought that were specific for the youth programs.
So the camp is a complete 100% go?
Yep, we are running at our 50% capacity. Essentially, we reduced our number from 120 kids a week to 60, which as soon as we opened it up was filled almost instantaneously. We could have gone a lot higher, but this allowed us to do a much more effective job at making sure that we were following all the best practices and recommendations and keeping it really simple. So far, I mean, fingers crossed, things have gone really well. Parents have been pleased. The staff are in incredibly high spirits. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, so.
So you're turning kids away?
Oh, yeah, we had wait lists immediately.
Okay. Perfect.
It's awesome. I've been out there twice with the camp. It's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Anytime anybody wants to stop
Smiles
by.
and,
Yep.
yeah, good time.
All right. Did we vote on this?
Nope.
All right, there's a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, Walter.
Yeah, thanks, Walter.
Order.
I'll make a motion on the additional grant.
Second. An additional $2,000, equipment other than vehicles, 2,400 furniture, over 100 additional, needed for sudden, unexplained infant death and sudden death and young grant from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. There's a motion and a second for the amount. Any discussion?
This is grant money, and you got to
Yeah.
kind of price for it?
Yes, it's a reimbursement grant
Okay,
that'll come through the CDC,
okay.
yeah. And we just need to find a line for it.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Any additional? Get a roll call, Madam Auditor?
Councilmember Sutton?
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Jessen?
Yes.
And Councilmember Papera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Easy enough.
Thank
All right, we have the commissioners in front of us, well, not in front of us, but we have the request. Now, I did talk to Scott earlier. He explained to me there's $1,500 from equipment other than vehicle repair and maintenance to care of patient and inmates. This was a Porter County resident that an autopsy had to be occurred in the States. You know, a resident passed away in one of the state facilities, and I guess we have to pay for that. He says that rarely ever happens. So that's what that is. The security guard, we didn't discuss that. I'm going to guess that's for the North County Court. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, it is.
I'm cool with
Does that fall under the sheriff then?
Well,
I thought he was in charge of courthouse security.
I don't know, that's the judges, wasn't Judge Harper always in charge of?
No, I think it's the sheriff.
I thought the sheriff.
Courthouse security is underneath the sheriff's department somehow in some way.
I'm not sure it's
Vicki?
courthouse community. I don't think is it courthouse security?
This deals with the security guard that was stationed at the North County Bennett, on behalf of the clerk's request. You might recall that last year, the clerk paid for this additional security guard, who's actually an employee of the commissioner. But then at the start of the year, the commissioners took it over. The problem that we have is that the clerk was paying the higher rate of $22, but the commissioners do not have that rate in their salary ordinance.
So here's the thing, here's the deal, just me. Generally speaking, I mean, it's a small transfer, something someone's asking, but I have a real problem approving a Form 144 without anybody here to request it. I've heard explanations from the auditor, I've heard, I think, what it might be from our chairman, but nobody's here to tell us. I mean, this is not the way it's really supposed to go, I don't think so. I would like to, for me, I mean, we've not approved 144, so I had someone here before. I think we have, just out of a matter of protocol. Somebody should be here. I'm okay with the other transfer, because I, too, talked to Scott about that, but not the, I'm not voting on the 144 without somebody sitting here.
So you need a motion for that?
No, I'll make a motion on the $1,500 transfer.
Motion and a second on the $1,500 transfer. Any further discussion on that transfer? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. There's a Form 144 in front of us.
I move to table that.
Motion to table the second. Any further discussion on the 144? All in favor of tabling it, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Did we get
Service report, Harold, did Harold give you anything? Dan, I know you talked to him a couple times recently.
all he texted me was he's going to get us a legal opinion on the question that was raised with respect to the bridging of the employee's time and the longevity and vacation. We wanted to make sure that, to clarify that we delayed, that we haven't actually denied the payment of the, time in question, that we're simply delaying it until we get a legal opinion. And I said that's yes.
We are not denying payment.
Right.
No.
We're just delaying it for further clarification.
Right. So he's going to get us a legal opinion on that for our next meeting.
Oh, good.
All right. And anything else, though? I know, I think Mike and I are going to try to get with Vicki later this week and begin to hash out a budget schedule, and try to get that out to you guys.
We should try to do it all in one day.
You guys want to do it one day? So we'll try to start getting that calendar together and start getting information out on that. So that's going to be in front of us soon, and that'll be fun. So, anything else? Any other matters?
And we have second reading?
Oh, yeah, we should probably do second reading. Second reading, Madam Auditor.
Whereas it has been determined that it's not
No, I know.
necessary to appropriate more money than must appropriate the annual budget, therefore be it resolved by the Porter County Council of Indiana, that for the expenses of the tax unit, the following additional sums of money are hereby appropriated out of the funds named, and for the purposes specified subject to the law. Stormwater fund, a total of $800,000, drug task force fund, $4,800, sheriff DEA proceeds fund, $47,773, and SUID grant fund, $4,400, and that concludes second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve second reading. Further discussion? Get a roll call?
Councilmember Rivas?
Yes.
Councilmember Graham?
Yes.
Councilmember Justin?
Yes.
Councilmember Paparad?
Yes.
Councilmember Sue?
Yes.
And Councilmember Whitten?
Yes.
6-0.
All right, I think that's it, you guys. I do believe that the Allen matter has been taken off the table, the abatement.
That's what I have come to understand.
They have pulled it off the table, from my understanding, so I was going to have them come in front of us, but they pulled it off the table, so.
Right.
Everybody have a safe and joyous holiday on July 4th. Don't let your guard down. We still got numbers out there of
Right.
COVID cases, so we're not through this fire yet.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion.